Okay, so let me show it from again. So once I go to EC2 instances, there are no EC2 instances to launch running instances. So I want to launch an instance. So you have to click on this launch instance. Then here there are many instances available, right? These are any choose. I want to choose Amazon Linux or Red Hat, right? Windows something, right? Any Ubuntu, anything I can choose. But if you select which is not part of free tier eligibility, you will get charged. So that is the reason always we have to choose free tier eligible. So if you want to list only the free tier eligible things here, you select this free tier only, it will list only the free tier eligible things. For now, I'm going to select this Red Hat. Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8, I'm going to select. Okay, this is free tier eligibility one, so I'll not be charged. Select. So it went to next page. Now here, there are different type of computer instances. Means instance is like a computer, right? Your computer will be of 1 GB RAM, 2 GB RAM, 10 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, any, right? They are for free tier eligibility, they are giving one instance. See this. This is only free tier eligible, which will come with 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. But if other than this, if you select anything, it will be charged. It will be charged. So if you select T2 small, you have to pay. So always select this T2 micro type of instance, which is of free tier eligibility. For our practice purpose, this is more than enough. A few cases we may need to use other than this, I'll tell you, but not now. Later, after a month, we may need to use. But for now, it is T2 micro is more than enough for us. I'm going to use this. Okay. Next, I'm going to select this. So in this third step, first step, what we choose, AMI, means AMI in AWS equal to operating system. So if I go to AM, choose an option here, AMI is nothing but in AWS we call as AMI, but in general we call as operating system. Either we want Red Hat operating system or Ubuntu operating system, Windows operating system, what operating system we want? We want Red Hat operating system, we selected. Okay. Next, instant type means what is the type of instant, like what memory and all you have to get, right? Second step, we selected this T2 micro. This is only the available for free tier, so I'm selecting only this one. Next, we are going to third step, that is configure instance. Here, we don't know anything here. You leave it as it is. You leave it as it is. Don't touch or modify anything in the third step. This we will learn in AWS. When we discuss about AWS EC2 service, we'll discuss each and every option available in this. For now, you leave it. Next, storage. Fourth step is storage. Here also you can leave everything as it is. We will learn what is these things and all. We will learn when we learn about AWS, right? For now, you leave it as it is. But what is this is hard disk. Whenever you buy a laptop, right, you will get one inbuilt hard disk, right? That hard disk should come with how much memory? That is 10 GB. Don't go more than 10 GB. If you want to reduce this, you can reduce to 9 or 10, but here it is not possible, I guess. So minimum, or else like you leave it as 10. Don't go beyond this. Okay. Why? Because AWS will give you, I think 30 or 50, I forgot. 30, I think. 30 GB hard disk you can use. But if you use all 30 here, they'll charge. So maximum you can use 3 instances, 3 Linux or any 3 instances you can create, each with 10 GB. But only for one instance, if you use 30, I think they'll charge. So leave it. It is more than enough for your practice. So leave this also as it is. But remember, this add storage, this is nothing but a hard disk. Okay. So that hard disk, they call it as root volume. Okay, we call for our computers, we call as inbuilt hard disk or hard disk, right? But they call it as root volume in AWS terminology. What is mean by AMI? In AWS, we call as AMI, but in general, what we call?
Operating system.
Okay, operating system. Okay, fine. Root volume means what?
It's hard disk, sir.
Yes, correct. Okay, that inbuilt hard disk. Okay, select this. Next, tags. What is tags is nothing but alias names. For now, you don't know, leave it. So what is the steps we have to select this first step, second step, leave this. Next to go to this step. Okay, 1, 2 we have to touch. Don't touch anything in third step. Don't touch anything in fourth step. Don't touch anything in fifth step. So 3, 4, 5, leave it as it is. Then go to sixth step. Here, we have to create a security group. What is this security group? Is For example, have you heard about firewall? Do you have any basics about firewall? At least firewall, have you heard?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. Leave it. So this is equal to firewall. Security group.
Security.
Yeah, security group in AWS is nothing but in general we call it as firewall. In AWS we call it as security group. For example, let me show you. Yes. This is my local laptop. This is my local laptop. Here I opened a browser. Here I opened a browser and trying to create a AWS a Linux instance in AWS. Where it will create? Somewhere AWS will have some big buildings. Big buildings will be there. There it will create a small computer for me. There it will create a small computer for me. This is what I'm doing. I'm asking AWS to create a computer for me. One server. Okay. From today onwards, I'm stopping this word calling as computer. Okay. Now onwards, I'll call it as either EC2 instance or server. Okay. I'm going to create one Linux server or EC2 instance, right? Now from here, I connected to AWS. How I connected? From my browser to AWS account through username and password. Nagendra email ID and password I gave unconnected. So with that they created. Okay, they are creating it. Once I create this, I want to connect. I want to go inside this Linux mission and work. So when you want to go inside this mission, right? There will be a firewall. I mean, there will be a wall or a door kind of thing. If you want to enter it, this security group, that firewall is nothing but a security group that should allow you, that will be blocking you. So if you want to allow, you have to create one we want to create a secure. For example, let's think like we have an institute. We have a door there. We have a security guard there. Will he allow everyone to enter into that? No. If you have an ID card, for example, if it is office or institute, if you have an ID card, yes, I'm a student of this institute. Okay, which course you are taking? This so and so course, like that. Then he will tell you, go to this room. This is for this class, like that. He'll tell, right? So same like security group, there will be different protocols, HTTP, SSH protocols, like that. So by default, SSH22 port is allowed. In detail about this, we'll learn in AWS and in coming further classes of DevOps also. For now, what you do is create a security group, right? Create a security group. Leave this detail. Just leave this. 6th step also. First time you create a new security group, leave this as it is and go to next step. Next step. So the 7th step is review. So whatever you have done in this 1 to 6th steps, it is going to ask like this. So we have selected in the first step Red Hat operating system. Then we selected T2 micro instance, which comes with 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. And we selected the security group as one security group, and it is allowing SSH22 protocol, something it is allowing. Okay, instance details. This is the instance type. 3rd step, what we ignore, that storage. 4th step, it is showing that 10 GB we have selected. Tags, nothing we have given. If you want to review it and click on launch. Okay, fine. Here we have to discuss something. Guys, whenever we want to log in into a website, how we will log in? Huh? How we will log in?
Open a browser, sir. First will.
Oh, okay. I opened that browser. Login. How we will log in? Username and password. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. See now, I'm creating an EC2 instance. Okay, I log into AWS account through a browser. I created a AWS account, AWS EC2 instance here. Now I want to ask Kavya to log into this. I want to ask Pawan to log into this. So if they want to log into that, see, don't get confused with AWS account and instance. AWS account means just getting a permission into that portal, AWS portal. Okay, if you have just now I logged into AWS account, right? This AWS account is there, right? That is just logging into AWS account portal. Once you log in into that portal, you can create EC2 instance. But if I want to log in into this instance, this is individual. Once you launch an instance, that is individual thing. That is separate server. So this logging and working with this EC2 instance is totally different. Now I created this instance. I want to log into this instance to work. I don't have any username and password to log into this AWS instance. So what AWS is giving is, by default, for this instance, AWS create one username. By default, AWS will create an username for this instance, and the default username is ec2-user. Okay, for that EC2 instance, if it is a Red Hat type of instance, EC2- is the username. If it is a Ubuntu type of user, Ubuntu is the username. By default, it will create. We selected Red Hat or Ubuntu. We created a Red Hat instance, or we selected a Red Hat instance or Ubuntu instance.
Red Hat.
Red Hat.
So what user by default it will create on this instance?
EC2-user.
EC2-user. Okay. Yes. Now for this user, there should be some password, right? If someone wants to log into this instance, they can use this username, but they should have one password. For this user, there should be one password also, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. But what AWS is doing is, it is not giving a password. Instead of password, it is giving a secret key. Similar like password only, but secret key, a big token or a big secret key will be there. Okay. What? Okay, let me go to here. So here, the key pair we call as key pair. I want to create a new key pair, right? So that should be encrypted, and I have to give some name. What is this? Nagendra. Your name is Nagendra or Narendra? Yeah? Nagendra only, right?
Nagendra.
Okay. Nagendra I am giving. Nagendra batch 22. Okay. So this name I am giving. Download. You have to download this. You have to download. This is one-time downloadable. Again, you can download. It is one-time downloadable. For now, you remember, like, see, you have to download the key pair before you can continue. Store it in a secure and accessible location. You will not be able to download the file again after it's created. See, you have to download this file, whatever you are going to create, you have to download it now itself. Once you download it, you cannot get it back. You cannot get it back. This is one of the famous interview question about AWS. If you lose this PEM file, for example, I downloaded this at this last 7th step, I'm creating one key pair, right? What this file? That key pair is nothing but secret token. So I'm giving a file, right? So with this name, I'm giving a name here and downloading it. So with this name, a file has been created. The name of the file is Nagendra batch 22, whatever I have given. The extension is .pem. We call as pem. .pem. It has downloaded. What this file will have is that secret key. For the default EC2 user, for the default EC2-user, password is not there. But instead of password, AWS has created a secret key, and that secret key is present inside this file. Once I launch, so have you understood this, guys? What about this file? This is very important. Have you understood what is this file? What it contains? For the default user, we are creating a PEM file, also called as key pair. This contains the secret token for that user to log in. This is one-time downloadable. You log in from here. If you click on this, this is the final step, launch instance. It is going to create a EC2 instance. Now, can you download that PEM file? For example, I already have it. I want to download once again. Can I download now? This is the interview question. Can I download now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is one-time downloadable. That is the reason you have to save it at a proper place, secret place, and keep it safe. Because once you lose it, that's gone. You cannot get it back. This is one interview question. Second
Sir, for
interview.
every...
Yes.
Okay, sir. Continue, sir.
Okay. Second interview question is, they'll give you one scenario. I lost the PEM file. So first question they'll ask, like, can I get the PEM file? If I have lost it, can I get the PEM file? No, it is impossible in AWS. Second question is, I already lost the PEM file. I launched an EC2 instance. So that EC2 instance has a user called EC2-user and PEM file with a secret token. I lost this PEM file. My EC2 instance is running. I lost this PEM file. I closed AWS account. Tomorrow I logged in, but I missed this PEM file. But still I want to log into that instance. How you will log in? Okay, that is the interview question. But even if I explain the answer, you cannot understand it now. That is a famous question asked n number of times from when I learned AWS, right? From that time onwards till today, everyone is asking that question. Okay, that we will learn when we learn about AWS. Even if I explain now, you cannot understand. Okay, fine. Our EC2 instance is now launching, means it has successfully launched. Remember, guys, in AWS, whatever we create, for that a unique number will be generated. We created one launch, we launched one instance, or else we created one instance, right? For that instance, a unique number has been generated, and this is the one. So if I click on this, okay, let me close this filters and all. You see here, there is one instance launch. This is the number. It is in running state. Understood, guys? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can name it. For example, you can give some name for this. My first instance. You can name it like this. My first instance. I named it like this. Okay. This is name up to you. You can modify it, but this number you cannot modify. AWS will generate it. So whenever you launch an EC2 instance, first it will be in pending state, because for you, don't draw this. Okay, such things you don't do it, please. Okay, whenever you are launching instance from your browser, you log into AWS and ask them to create one Linux instance for you. They need some time to create for you, right? So until they create, it will be in pending state. Once they create, it will move into running state. Okay, now the instance has been launched for us. Now I want to connect to this instance. Now I want to connect to this instance. Where is this instance? Where is this instance?
In Amazon.
In
Yes, sir.
AWS. Okay, in AWS, we created this instance on AWS. Correct. Now I want to work with that. Now I want to connect. I want to connect to that instance and work with that. So to connect with that, what I want to do is, you just have to select this. See, when I don't select this, this connect option is disabled. But when I select this, it will show as connected. Connected. Click on this. Here, there are few options available. One is SSH. There is EC2 Instance Connect, Session Manager, SSH Connect. There is something. Let's try with the first one, EC2 Instance Connect. Okay, it is showing something. It is little difficult. If you select this, you just click on connect. See, the default username is EC2-user. The default name is EC2-user. Click on connect. It will open another browser. Here, see, it is showing some error. Why? Because this option will work only for Amazon instances, Amazon OS, but we selected Red Hat, so it will not work. There is some other option, but leave all these things. But in general, whatever we use is SSH client. They have given one command. What this command? Let me explain this. Guys, when I open something like this, flipkart.com something, right? If I go to the starting, let me copy this URL. This is what is this called as? What is
Domain,
this
sir.
Yes, exactly.
URL.
Yeah, this entire thing. Okay, thanks for the confusion. That is what I was expecting. This entire thing is called as URL. This is called as domain. Okay, this entire thing called as URL. This is called as domain. Then what is this is called as? HTTPS something. What is this called as? What is HTTPS?
Hypertext protocol, something is there, sir.
Protocol. Okay, that is called as protocol.
Hypertext Transfer Protocol.
That is abbreviation. HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol Service Secure. Something is secure. S means secure. Something. That this is called as protocol. Protocols are like this. HTTP, HTTPS. HTTP means not secured. Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol secured. SSH, like this. TCL. There are so many protocols. Okay. SSH is one of the protocol which we use for Linux. SSH is a protocol which we use for Linux. So here in this command, SSH is saying this is a Linux protocol, and this is a username. This is a domain. Go on mute, please. DNS, okay, like a domain. This is similar like domain DNS. Okay, what it is saying is, I'll go here. If I try to run this command, I want to connect to a Linux machine with this username to this Linux instance. In AWS, we created one Linux server, right? That server will have unique IP address and host name. Every Linux machine will have a unique IP address and host name, right? This is a host name. So what it is saying is, I want to connect to this Linux instance using this username, and for this user, there is no password, but there is a secret key. That secret key is present inside this file. That secret key is present inside this file. So I want to connect to this instance. What is the instance I have created? To this instance, I want to connect. Okay. How to connect is, I'll go here. I'll go to downloads. I'll go to downloads. Wherever that PEM file is there, right? Here I have to right click and open git bash here. Remember, wherever this PEM file, I have this PEM file inside downloads. So there only I have to open and right click on git bash. Right click on git bash. Okay, let me expand it. Here you have to execute. So where is this git bash I opened? What is this git bash? And I'll explain after 5 minutes. Where I opened this git bash? On my local computer. From my local computer, this is my local computer. This is my local computer. I don't want to connect on my computer. I want to connect to this instance, to the Linux instance, which is created on AWS, which is created on AWS. So for that, it has given a command. I'm opening it and clicking on enter. So it is asking yes or no, confirmation, yes. Now where I connected? Using EC2-user, I connected to that remote machine where AWS is created. Understood, guys? How quickly we created. Anyways, I was explaining, so at least it took 1 hour. But if not, means I can create an EC2 instance within a minute and can connect to that. How easily we are creating an EC2 instance and how easily we are connecting. Am I maintaining that Linux server, that Red Hat instance? No, AWS is maintaining. Who is creating for us? AWS. Everything in AWS control. Yes or no, guys? So easy. This is what we can do easily in cloud. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you'll learn more about this going forward. Maybe in next 2-3 classes we will learn that. For now, let me tell few things, few more things. I created an EC2 instance. Okay, I'm a student. I created AWS account. I launched an EC2 instance. It is in running state. My practice is completed. My practice is done. Can I keep this EC2 instance in running state? And tomorrow I want to practice. Today I practice for 1 hour. Okay, fine. Tomorrow I want to practice. Today I don't have some time, any time. Can I leave this EC2 instance in running state? Yes, of course you can leave it. No problem at all. But one thing is, here you have created one EC2 instance, right? AWS is giving 7. Let me open that. AWS
750 hours.
Okay. Let me show you. If I type this, AWS is giving EC2 instance for 750 hours per month. 12 months free. For each month, per month, they are giving 750 hours of EC2 instance. Means, for example, just think, I created an EC2 instance at 9 o'clock. Today at 9 o'clock, I created an EC2 instance. So next 750 hours, I can run this EC2 instance happily. But after 750 hours, if you use this, AWS will charge for you. AWS will charge for you. But you may think like, no, I want to practice. If I keep this in running state for 750 hours, maybe I'll practice today. I don't have time to practice till 10 days. So by the 10 days, 750 hours will be completed. What I can do like that, you can think. So if you want to save that 750 hours, right? What you can do is select this instance, go to instance state. You can terminate that instance. You can terminate this instance. If you terminate this instance, what will happen is this instance will be deleted. Tomorrow, you can launch one more instance. Okay, then you may get one more question. No, sir, I don't want to terminate because I practiced something on this instance. Tomorrow, when I log in, also I want to get the same changes. In that case, what you can do is you can stop the instance. Select this instance, go to instance state and stop the instance. See that 750 hours will be calculated if your EC2 instance is in running state. If that EC2 instance in stopped state, that 750 hours will not be calculated. Understood, guys? So now
Yes, sir.
at 9 o'clock, I created an EC2 instance. Till 9:59, I practiced. Till 9:58 or 9:59, I practiced. So in that 750 hours, how many hours will be minus? How many hours will be minus in 750?
59 minutes.
Means 1 hour. Either it is 1 minute or 59 minutes, it will be calculated as 1 hour. Understood, guys? For free tier eligibility. If it is not free tier eligibility, it is minute basis or second basis, that we will discuss later. For now, let's discuss only about free tier eligibility. Once you launch an EC2 instance in free tier eligibility, that T2 micro instance, either you use that EC2 instance for 1 minute or 59 minutes, it will be calculated as 1 hour. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at 9 o'clock, I launched an EC2 instance. At 9:59, I stopped the instance. So it will be calculated as 1 hour. Tomorrow, I'll log in at 8 o'clock. I'll close my EC2 instance at 9:59. So 2 hours. So today, 1 hour, tomorrow, 2 hours. 3 hours will be minus from that 750 hours. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, one more question. I launched 2 instances at 9 o'clock. Right? I launched one instance, my first instance. I'll launch one more instance called as my second instance. 2 instances I created at 9 o'clock and I closed both at, okay, you can go on, guys. Close your cam. This is bad habit. I can't tell this again and again. Okay. Okay. See how am you distracted? We were discussing something important and you disturbed us. See,
I didn't open, sir. I don't know how it came.
okay. Think like I created 2 instances at 9 o'clock and closed 2 at 9:59. How many hours will be minus from that 750 hours? At 9 o'clock, I launched 2 instances. At 9:59, I closed both the instances. I stopped both the instances.
2 hours.
Exactly. 2 hours. It is not equal like 1 hour. It is equal to 2 hours because you ran 2 instances per 1 hour. So 1 plus 1 equal to 2 hours. Okay, understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that 750 hours will be calculated only if the EC2 instance is in running state. If you want to use the same instance for tomorrow, you can keep it in stopped state and start it tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you want to start it, you can start it. The instance is in stopped state. See, it is in pending state. It is getting started. Okay. It will show us in pending state. So after a minute or sometime, it will get into running state. Okay. Next, if you don't want to use this instance itself, okay, happily you can terminate this instance. Okay, let me show. It will turn into starting in running state. After that, we'll terminate. Understood, guys, how to save the timings here for the EC2 instance. Okay. And don't create more than 3 instances. Don't create more than 3. Even if you are doing some experiment trials and the practice and all, don't create more than 3 instances. Why? Why I'm saying you can create n number of instances, but I'm recommending not to create more than 3 instances. Why? Can you guess?
Time calculated.
Sorry?
Time, sir.
Not time.
Hour?
Not time. Because I said, right, each instance will get 10 GB memory. Add storage, that hard disk capacity 10 GB. AWS will give only 30 GB free. If you create the 4th instance, that instance also needs some hard disk storage. So it will get 10 GB. So in that case, you have to pay for 10 GB hard disk extra. Understood, guys? 30 GB only. So don't go more than 3 instances. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this EC2 instance in running state. One more question. I launched an EC2 instance at 9 o'clock. I launched one EC2 instance at 9 o'clock. Stopped at 9:10. Okay. Launched at 9. Stopped at 9:10. Again, I started the same instance at 9:20 and stopped at 9:30. Same instance. Within 1 hour, I stopped and started twice. So how many hours will be minus from my EC2 instance? 2 hours. 2 hours. Why? Because once you stop it, that's it. 1 hour is gone. Okay. Understood, guys?
Yes, sir.
I can 100% guarantee you, you will not practice more than 750 hours per month. That is 100% for sure. But if you only when you will get charges, if you leave that instance in running state and forget it, then only you'll get charged. Okay, this is the basic about AWS. I haven't discussed about real time, why use that and all. Just for your practice purpose. Why? Because next session we are going to start Linux. You have to practice your Linux, right? Where you will start, where you will practice your Linux is like this. Okay, fine. I want to terminate my instance. Okay, we'll terminate sometime. But while connecting to the instance, I opened Git bash. But most of you, when you right click, you will not get that. You will not get that Git bash. If you right click here, right? If you right click on your computer anywhere, you have to get that Git bash here. This option you will not get. How to get this Git bash option is just go to Google Git for Windows. You just type Git for Windows. So don't go to any other sites. Go to this proper site, git-scm.com downloads. git-scm.com/downloads. You go to this site, download this. Either you are using, if your laptop is Mac or Windows or Linux, based on that. Mine is Windows. I'll click on this, it will download. Okay, click on this. It will start automatically downloading. If not, you can click on that. Okay, I'm passing it. I'm canceling it. Why? Because I already have it. So you'll get an exe file. If I get an exe file, how to install exe file? How to install exe file on Windows?
Double click and click on next. Till
Yes,
finish.
double click, next, finish. Okay, that's it. Right. So once you install this Git for Windows, that is right. Once you install that, wherever on your mission, anywhere on your mission, if you right click any folder, right click, you should be able to see this Git for Windows. These two options you will see it. So, but you have to, where you have to open your Git bash is wherever your PEM file is there. For me, downloads. So I'm going to open this Git bash here. Right? Go to this. Okay, the meeting is going to end in a minute. Please rejoin, guys. Just I want to tell 2-3 points. After that, I'll end. Just not more than 5 minutes. Okay. So I can take this URL. Okay. Take this.